Have you ever randomly wondered, I wonder how many Tristana Ws it would take to get across the whole map? Or how many flashes does it take to get from base to base? If so, then you're in luck. I randomly had the thought about how many flashes it would take, and then the idea just spiralised from there. So welcome to the first episode of the How Many series. Up first, we might as well start with the questions from the start of the video, and I'll start with the first idea that came to me. How many flashes does it take to get from the back of one base to the other? "50 flashes to get from one base to the other." If we weren't using the practice tool and didn't have the mastery that lowered summon a spell cooldown, it would take 250 minutes, over 4 hours, to get from one side to another using just that alone. Next up, the Tristana W question from the beginning of the video. This is how many rocket jumps it'll take to get to the other side of the base. It will take you 23 rocket jumps to get you from the back of one base to the back of the other, which would take over 8 minutes at rank 1 and just over 5 minutes at max rank. We'll take a look at the Cougar Queen Nidalee next and see how many pounces it will take her to get to the enemy base. Nidalee pounces will get you there in 55 uses, which in a normal game without cooldown reduction would take you about 5.5 minutes. The champion up next I decided was Ahri because of a dashy ultimate. It took 41 presses of the R key to get Ahri to the other base, but since her ultimate has 3 casts in it, this actually took between 13 and 14 full casts of Spirit Rush, which would take roughly just over 25.5 minutes at first rank, and roughly just over 18.5 minutes at max rank. This is going to be an awkward one because of the manner in which I'll have to try and move across the map, but next we'll give a MooMoo a go and see how many of his bandage tosses it will take. For this I'll have to use target dummies, which will mean spawning them as I go and trying not to hit the same one twice, which I'm bound to do because of positioning. With that, let's see how it goes. Okay, a MooMoo wasn't the easiest to do this kind of thing with, and there was a tiny bit of walking and a couple of failed attempts, but we can safely say that a rough amount of bandage tosses that it'll take you to get to the other base is about 23, the same as the rocket jumps for Tristana, although her count is more accurate. This will take just over 6 minutes at rank 1 and just over 3 minutes at max rank, although in a normal game you wouldn't have the target dummies to play with, so you'd have to wait for minions to come along, which I may do in future episodes. For the next 2 champions on today's list, I decided to do 2 sets of footage, one set being the usual back of the base to the other, and another of a lap of the map using the outside lanes. The first one I did this with was Sion using his ultimate Unstoppable Onslaught. And this is how many it takes to get from one side of the map to the other. By far the lowest amount that there will be in this episode, and it will probably be in the top 5 for this whole series. 3 Unstoppable Onslaughts will get you to the back of the enemy base, which at first rank would take you over 7 minutes, and at max rank roughly 3 minutes. Now let's see how many ults he can do a lap in. Eight times. If there was ever a foot race mode in this game, I think Sion would win for sure. Just under 19 minutes at first rank and roughly 8 minutes at max rank is the time it would take you to do this in a normal game. Now for Warwick. First up, base to base. With Warwick I recorded both with extra movement speed, items and without, but for this video I'll just include the footage with extra movement speed. 15 casts to get from base to base using Warwick's Infinite Duress, which at first rank would take about 27.5 minutes, and at max rank it would be closer to 17.5. Now let's look at the lap time. "38 casts to do a lap of the map using the same ability. Time-wise, that would be just under 70 minutes at first rank and just over 44 at max rank. That's it for this episode, and I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought in the comments below, and if you have any requests for champions and abilities that you would like to see in the next episode, leave a comment down below. Feel free to leave a like, and if you want more gaming content, subscribe and hit that bell for notifications on when I upload. I am Crisscross, this has been a crazy start to a random series, and I will see you next time.